It's spoiler talk. So, as I just mentioned, we are going to be going into spoilers. If you want to know our non-spoilery thoughts on what we thought about Justice League, you can click right here, or it's going to be in the description box below. So make sure you check that out and come back to this one. Now, getting into spoilers, as I just mentioned, we're going to be going over everything. So, for some reason you have not seen this, come back after you check the movie out. Now, getting into spoilers. First shot, or not even first shot of the movie, I just kind of want to say really quickly my thoughts on this movie. I've seen it twice now. I will say, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more the second time. It's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. It definitely has some incredible moments during some action sequences. What didn't change for me from the first time is the villain is not the greatest. I thought he was very underdeveloped. I understood his motivations, which is always a good thing, but I just didn't really, again, I think both times I watched, I really noticed more the second time, there's no scenes of Steppenwolf where there's no action going on at all. It's all action scenes with Steppenwolf, and I think what makes villains interesting is when you get to know them, and not like them, but you just more understand what they're going for, and just really get into the mind of this character, and it's all action scenes with this character.
Yeah, it seems like
CGI.
He was kind of just there for the Justice League to fight, and we didn't really get any scenes of him, like you said, kind of just talking about who he is or what what his plans are. But I don't know. I liked the movie. It was a lot of fun. It was very funny too. They finally started infusing some humor into these movies. Like Wonder Woman had some humor too. This one I think was funnier, especially with the Flash.
I thought Batman v Superman had humor.
It was darker. I don't know, but this one had some genuinely funny moments where I was cracking up. Especially, probably my favorite was when they awaken Superman for the first time, the Flash is running at him, and you see Superman just looking at him.
How about Aquaman under the lasso? No,
yeah, that was good.
There were if you really rewatch Batman v Superman, you will find some humoristic moments, especially between some from Alfred. Alfred has some really funny moments. Nothing like this, of course. Yeah. They definitely toned it down. They made it lighter. They made it a lot more humoristic, and I want everyone to understand, I'm not complaining. I thought the movie was fun and entertaining. My issues, I liked it too. I gave it a pretty high score. If anything, I would probably change it. I had it we'll get into that at the end. I'm going to give it a little bit higher, but when we get into that at the end, I'll talk about that. But I definitely enjoyed it a lot more the second time. Again, the issues that I had with this movie, and every movie has flaws, I'm not saying that. My biggest issue is a couple things. One, because of how fast everything happened, and by the way, I can't wait to see that extended cut, because there was a lot of stuff from the trailer that we see cut. So
it's probably at least an hour cut.
I'm not saying they have to put an hour back, but if they do, that's fine with me too. But again, I wanted more from this film. When I mean more, like I wanted some more of the characters to be more developed. I wanted some of them to have arcs, like Cyborg, for instance. I really liked a lot of the stuff we got from Cyborg, but things I wanted more developed in terms of. I wanted to, even though they did make a little bit of a point in the film. If you're gonna argue, I agree. They made a point where he was struggling with the suit. It was going against him, but I wanted more of that kind of stuff with him. And again, if you do solo movies with these characters, you basically super glue these issues because they've already dealt with these issues of dealing with the suit, and finally at the end he comes to terms with who he is. He finally has a hold of the suit. Like, it happened, but like I didn't feel it like the way I wanted to, like, get that arc from the character. And even Aquaman, like, I was really, and again, I love Atlantis. Like, I mean, some of the look was good when he's talking with Mera. Some of that CGI was not very good, but that's the first time we get to see him meeting Mera, like his future wife, like in a 2-3 minute moment like that. And where the heck is the rest of Atlantis when Steppenwolf is attacking? Only 2 guards and Mera. Like, where the heck are their forces and everything? Like, I don't know, like the Amazonian fight, like that's badass. But like again, you see all the soldiers coming. It took a few minutes, but here you don't see any of Atlantis, and I just felt that was so rushed and chopped up, that whole moment of them meeting so fast.
Well, I think the biggest thing was that I guess Warner Brothers had some mandate where the movie had to be 2 hours or less. And
so they could play it in more theaters.
Yeah, but I just think that's dumb because now the movie feels super rushed, and probably all the negative things I had to say about this movie were probably because of that. They had to cut so much out. The scene transitions weren't very smooth.
Yes.
A lot of just cutting here and there. It felt a little bit choppy. The pacing was a little off, but other than all that stuff, I mean, I think the movie was a lot of fun. It really did feel like a comic book more so than like an actual movie, which is not a problem for me. This is a comic book movie. Like I like how all these comic book movies do have the realistic feel, but this one I didn't feel bad about it not feeling like that.
I agree with everything you just said, but on the flip side, while I'm glad it was good and I felt there were some amazing iconic moments and I was happy throughout most of the film, these issues that I'm talking about, in my opinion, would have made it an amazing And I'm not saying I have the answers, of course not. I'm just saying if some of these issues with the villain, some of the pacing issues, some of extending scenes out longer, extending some of the action, making the stakes feel a lot higher, making it feel like even though we know that these other characters are getting solo films, in the moment, feeling like they have no shot at this threat level of Steppenwolf. And I never felt that. And again, if you fix these things, I personally think it's not, and again, who cares? I'm with everyone. Who gives a crap what other critics and other people think? It's about what you think and your personal opinion. But I'm saying I don't want this movie to get a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't think it deserved, by the way.
No.
But just getting back, I don't want it to get a 36. I want it to get in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, or whatever. I want it to be universally loved by everyone. And again, it only matters what you think. I agree with that. But I also, me as a greedy DC and Marvel fan, just a comic book fan, I want everyone to love all these movies that come out. Everyone. And again, I understand why some people had certain gripes with certain things. Again, like I said, I enjoyed and really was very happy and thoroughly entertained, and I enjoyed it even more the second time. And again, it moves at a fun, fast pace. But again, I just wanted more moments to extend out, because this is the Justice League. Like, this is where we're bringing everything together. That's why I didn't like the whole idea of not doing solo films with all these characters. It just really would have benefited from that. If you have solo films and then do this, totally
it's just more payoff.
Story.
We need solo films, not solo emails.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not complaining saying we didn't get a fun, good film. We did. I'm glad. I'd rather get a fun, good film than a sour, dap, crappy, shitty film. I'm with that. I'll take this over what I just said. I'll take the former over the latter, for sure. But I'm greedy. I want more. I want an epic masterpiece that everyone freaking loves. That everyone goes, Justice League is the best freaking movie, or one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen. I enjoyed and liked it a lot, and it was great to finally see all these iconic characters come on the big screen. I was happy. But I wasn't like, oh my god, this is like on a level. And I'm not saying it has to be, but just that makes it even better. I like what they did here, but I want more. Well, that's all I'm saying.
The thing is, really, there was not that big payoff from seeing all these characters come together, because all we've seen is Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman.
Well, we saw that email from Bruce to Diana.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's a lot.
It was really just those three, and then they picked up a few more, like, in the movie, which is cool, but they couldn't really give them their due. Like, we couldn't really learn much about them beforehand.
By the way, I have another interesting flaw to go over with you. And by the way, if I'm somehow wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. I always love, people saying having different subjective opinions. All down for it. But I just didn't understand. They said that right when Cyborg, or right when Superman died, the mother boxes came on and everything went crazy and all that. Didn't we see the mother box going crazy and all that in Batman v Superman before Superman died? When he turned on, I was like,
it wasn't
the email.
I thought he was trying to use it.
But the mother box just came on and turned on by itself. Rewatch the footage, rewatch the scene. Right. I rewatched it the other week. And Silas Stone, the dad, what's his name, from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Miles Bennett Dyson. This guy needs to stop messing around with cybernetic beings. Yeah, well, in this case, it actually worked, right? This one was like, okay, not the end of the world. But just getting back to that, you've seen that footage. Like, Silas is like this. Like, it's just hovering up and going into him and turning on. So, again, if they're saying that everything turned on, it kind of feels a little bit like a continuity and a plot hole. But, again, if I'm wrong, let us know in the comment section below. But other than that, no, I want to talk about a lot of things we did love. We're going to go over some of the scenes as well. Like I said, it was very fun, it was entertaining, had a lot of iconic and amazing moments, like the way Batman moves at the very beginning this is Arkham video game style Batman, and I freaking love it. The way he moves off gargoyles and the way he's like maneuvering and in Predator style on the bad guy was just sick as shit.
I kind of felt like it was all in like slow motion though. I kind of noticed it. I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
I was actually thinking that I didn't like it that much. Like, the movements were cool, but it just felt like very video, like maybe that reminisces you from the video game, because that is kind of how it works, but it just felt a little unnatural to me. I don't know.
I personally loved it. And the way when he was holding the guy over with the battering stuff, and then the parademon, before the parademon obviously comes up, I just had some visual re-imagery of Michael Keaton in 1989, where he's holding the guy up like at the very beginning in the first scene, where he's like, "Don't kill me, man! I'm not gonna kill you." And then you hear, of course, the Danny Elfman, Michael Keaton Batman theme. So just seeing that and the guy over the cliff,
nostalgia.
it just brought back like a lot of that visual imagery for me. And again, Ben Affleck, he is incredible. Not only as Bruce Wayne, or not only as Batman rather, but even as Bruce Wayne, I liked a lot of those moments, a lot of the dramatic tension we got with him, especially with, trying to motivate Wonder Woman into being the leader of the team, and to not only the leader of the team, but also that icon of a hero, like coming out to humanity, like being like what Superman is, that global icon, that beacon of hope, rather, So, and that's what I loved about Bruce, the buttons he was pushing, like, because obviously when he fights aliens, it's still cool as crap, but you need Batman to help the team out in other ways, because he's gonna feel somewhat useless in certain battles when he's not able to do what the other characters do.
He's technically probably the weakest of the.
In terms of physicality,
yeah,
but he's by far the strongest in terms of brain and intellect, and that's what I love so much.
Well, Cyborg maybe, but.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. But without, actually, no, you're right. Obviously, Cyborg has more information, but Batman has a shitload of information in that Wikipedia brain of his, or encyclopedia brain. But I agree with you. You're right. But I love even though Batman at certain points of some of the fights doesn't feel like he's fully, helping the team, but he is in certain ways. He's got the Nightcrawler and other things.
Well, I liked actually seeing how like beat up he felt, and all the bruises and stuff, and Wonder Woman popping his shoulder back in. And like they're totally referencing the fact that this is much older Batman. This is not prime Batman. He's like scars. Old, so
yeah,
I like that aspect of it.
And also too, they hinted obviously even though we kind of got a little glimpse of it from the last movie, that they are going to have some kind of possibly a romantic relationship, because especially when she's coming in there, not only helping him pop back, but like just helping him heal his wounds.
Well, I thought their whole dynamic and their whole relationship in this movie was really good. Probably the best of all the. All of them with each other.
I really like Flash and Cyborg too.
I like that too.
That graveyard.
But that was more funny and lighthearted. Where this was more like actual connection.
You're right, but a scene away from the action, away from the plot of just them getting to know each
other. I like
the
Flash one too.
I love seeing the character. That's why I wanted the movie to be longer. Like moments like that. I'm like, I want more. I want more moments of away from the a few minutes away from the plot.
We're not there yet. And then at the end they get.
It's like, do you think this is kind of disrespectful, just building like getting at corpse race? Probably, or something like that. Like, I like that interaction that builds up the team chemistry. It makes these characters more relatable, and it makes our investment just go that much more, because we didn't get solo films with these characters. But when you jump so much into action, it just again doesn't get the payoff as much as you want, but you still get a good payoff.
Yeah,
not as much as you want.
Overall, I thought all the interactions between the heroes was very good,
yeah.
But it would have been nice to see a little more individual interactions. Like Aquaman didn't really get too much individual, other than with Bruce Wayne, like at the beginning when he went over to Iceland or whatever that was. But
yeah, I believe you're right, Iceland. And I gotta say again, we'll stick away from the flaws till we get closer to the flaws area, even though I kind of basically said it already. But the CGI mustache with Henry Cavill, and the first scene at the beginning. And I'd say it might be the race scene at the end, or one of the scenes where he's smiling or something. It was, again, most of the scenes he looked okay, but some of that CGI was Princess Leia Rogue One distracting to me. Like
it looked weird in that opening scene, which I thought was a little unnecessary. Like it was exactly like what the Spider-Man Homecoming opening was, but like. I don't know, it's just some kids talking to Superman, like
filming on a handheld camera. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that scene was a little unnecessary.
I feel you. I liked it because again, it brought back that sense of Superman as hope. It's a beacon. It's a foreshadowing for he's the hope that that the Justice League needs and the world needs to stop Steppenwolf, this major threat. So I feel you. I understand your gripe, but I personally like the foreshadowing in that. And then we get, of course, the everybody knows that song. On that montage, and you can tell in that montage this is a Zack Snyder film.
Oh yeah,
just the way how it's all like just the slow motion, the anarchy, just all that, and how the music is just blending. Yeah. But yeah, no, I like again this. Like I said, I thought this film was pretty beautifully shot for the cinematography, the locations
that's Zack Snyder's bread and butter right there. His cinematography and his like whole art direction, but. Joss Whedon came in and maybe fixed some story elements. And
then seeing Wonder Woman in that scene at the beginning with those
the bank robbery.
They say I forgot when she said the last. They said there's some kind of terrorist.
They're like
reactionary terrorist, something like that. I love the movements. I didn't realize Wonder Woman was that fast.
Blocking all those bullets.
Yeah, but it was a cool sequence. I just didn't realize she was that fast. Also, if you rewatch the trailers, you can see they definitely cut out some stuff, because I remember the explosion happening inside the building when she throws it up, and like you could see it was a major explosion, but it just didn't feel like the explosion that I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a little bit bigger, but that's a little bit of a gripe. Baby gripe, but I thought the action and the movements and, again, that re-embracing of Wonder Woman about her being a believer. I like that introduction again for, in this film, of course, where she was just, again, she got to kick some ass in that bank robbery scene. And again, just got to reaffirm us with that quote and that belief that she has, that she is a believer. So I thought that was a good introduction moment for Wonder Woman for this film. I did like that whole thing with Bruce Wayne and Arthur Curry. And again, maybe I'm just a dumbass, like Charles Barkley, I'm a dumbass. But, let me know in the comment section if I am wrong here. But I don't know if Bruce Wayne was playing around with Arthur when he didn't know, like, exactly, because he was, like, talking about to the villagers, like, looking for Arthur. Again, if he's playing around with him, then the scene makes more sense. But if Bruce really did not know what Arthur Curry looked like he sent the email to Diana showing what Aquaman, all the characters look like. So I don't understand. Again, maybe.
Well, the one with Aquaman was like underwater and stuff, and it was maybe hard to see. Like he saw the big beard and stuff, but
I guess more of a minor grade. But anyways, I did like that whole the dialogue between them, the interactions that they had when he's trying to recruit him, and he's like, hell no, he's like, yeah, he's talking about how he's Batman and he's in Gotham. He's like, oh, that shithole. Like I just thought it was funny. Again, just moments, even though they are talking a little bit about the plot where we need you for Steppenwolf. We are away from all the action. We've got some more slow down moments here. Like, I did enjoy a lot of that interaction. Like, these scenes, the scenes with him and Wonder Woman, talking about recruiting the team. The Wonder Woman scene where Cyborg, goes all Dumbledore and turns off all the lights in the block, with the Deluminator and all. I love all those scenes where they're just, they're taught, and obviously with Flash and Superman, the racing, just like you got to get us like the character interactions really work in this movie, like
something
really
about
work.
Brunch?
Yeah, like this is a betrayal. This is an absolute cold betrayal. Like again, the chemistry of the team. Like I really hope that I really did enjoy this movie. It's just again these gripes that might make some of you think I'm a DC hater. It's just for the. I just want. It's this
just
movie
taking
to
it from a good movie to a great movie.
That's all. Thanks, Jason. Yes. Exactly. We got to talk a little bit about some of the product placement in this movie. I'm not gonna lie though. Right after I watched this movie, I bought a Gillette razor, and then I went and bought I bought a few Mercedes. I wanted to be like the Justice League. Wanted to be like Bruce Wayne. Hey, Bruce Wayne had two sick Mercedes. He had the Safari Mercedes and that race car sick Mercedes, and then Diana Prince had a sick Mercedes when she went to the Dumbledore Cyborg meeting. Mm-hmm. And then obviously we see Bruce Wayne shaving with the Gillette thing, so that was cool. And then we get the wind-up Penguins reference from Alfred. It kind of felt like a Batman Returns reference to the Penguins with the missiles at the end of Batman Returns. So that was good. Again, I love talking about character interactions. I love the interactions between Alfred and Bruce. It just really worked for me. It's like, shall I put the check mark for yes or no for Wonder Woman as a team? Just whatever, I butchered the line. Whatever lines. Like I just thought they really worked. Again, they bring a sense of a presence and a sense of history that they have together, and I really feel that their connection with each other, and I really love their chemistry together, those two. But getting to the Henry Allen and Barry Allen scene again. Because you didn't go in the solo film, you got to go into some of this stuff with the exposition now. And again, I thought they did a good enough job of just starting that and infusing that relationship. And I thought Billy Crudup did a pretty good job as Henry Allen.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I mean, they didn't really have to explain too much. You obviously see Barry going into the prison and talking to his dad. And yeah, some definitely emotional scenes. Barry really wants to prove his innocence, and he wants to get a degree in criminal justice. And so there was some backstory there without too much direct exposition, just them kind of explaining what's going on with their relationship and with Barry in general, just because that was kind of our first introduction to him. So I thought they handled it pretty well.
Yeah, and also, too, we, of course, get to see Jimmy Olsen, Mark McClure from Superman, the original Superman, the movie with Richard Donner, the cop who's letting Barry Allen go through. And, by the way, if you rewatch the trailer, he's actually in one of the action sequences where Cyborg stops the Jeep, from hitting the cop. Obviously, a lot of that got cut, but the scene where Superman finally gets woken up, he was actually in that scene, but not in the theatrical, in the trailers, but not in the theatrical cut. So, but I did like seeing him, and of course he's Marty McFly's brother in Back to the Future, Dave. But that was cool seeing him, and then Barry doing that funny thing to the guy.
Yeah,
again,
funny.
This movie did have some really good humor and some
especially with Barry.
Yeah, I love Barry in this movie. And again, he reminded me a lot of the Wally West Flash, where he had a lot more humor, a lot of comedic timing, and nonsense sometimes that comes out of his mouth, like, "Hi Barry, I'm Diana." Oh, that didn't come out right. Like, just I liked a lot of the funny, like, the social awkwardness he had sometimes with being with the
bad time to talk about my blood sugar.
Yeah, I'm really, really hungry. Like, no, it's just no. He brought some really good humor and comic relief to the film, and I love that suit. I love all their costumes, by the way, and even Cyborgs. I grew to like that CGI a little bit more the second time, but all their costumes look really freaking cool. But yeah, no, and also this film really looked like it was trying hard to be a Lord of the Rings kind of movie, because there are some major Lord of the Rings homages. I mean, you got one scene of Hippolyta warning Diana with the fire, kind of like in Pippin Return of the King. You got the dead horse on one of the Amazonians, just like with King Theoden in Return of the King. And then you got Aquaman with the "You shall not pass" moment with his trident with the water. Like, there were definitely some moments. And also, too, like, I'm not going to lie, that sick flashback we got that I wanted a few more minutes of with Steppenwolf in his first fight, where we see Zeus, where we see a Green Lantern, the Amazonians, the Atlanteans. Like, that was sick. I wanted like 4 or 5 more minutes.
Showing the Green Lantern was awesome.
Oh, the Green Lantern was sick. And then seeing when he died, like, the ring was going right past Steppenwolf. I wonder if that ring went to Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan. Probably not, but who knows. But no, but again, if you look at the visual in the background, kind of reminded me a little bit of Mordor. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I know it's supposed to be like Apocalypse with where obviously that's Darkseid's planet, and that's basically what Steppenwolf is trying to do. He's trying to basically do what Zod couldn't do where he's trying to put Krypton on Earth. He's trying to make it so he can put Krypton basically on Earth, or Krypton. I mean, rather Apocalypse, and obviously wants to gain favor with. In the comics, his uncle or his nephew is Darkseid. I believe in this they didn't really explain it, but I believe Darkseid might be his uncle in this universe. But again, they didn't really go into that. But in the comics, he is Darkseid's uncle. So, but by the way, I was shocked they didn't show anything about Darkseid. They obviously talked about him a few times,
a little bit,
but they didn't like. I would have thought that would have been. I mean, I know we got that incredible mid-credit scene. We got that post-credit scene, which was awesome. But we didn't get anything of Dark. I would have thought something. But you're right. I'm hoping on the extended cut. Hopefully they give us something.
We'll
because, I mean, he's the biggest villain in the DC universe. You got to show something. And again, not getting into a Marvel comparison, I just love how they teased us with Thanos in the Avengers. Like, he's not in the film, but his presence is looming. It's felt. He's the one in control of Loki. He's the one who's hovering over Earth, making sure that its demise happens. And again, I'm sick of getting, that's just copying Marvel. No, it's not. It's
just, they're comics. They're both comics. Yes, and if anything, Marvel stole all of its shit from DC back in the day anyways. So. Yeah,
exactly. And again, if you make stuff good and you make the story compelling and epic and grandiose, and you make again, it balances between humor and action. And again, everything feels organic, and you get the payoffs the way you want, and you feel the stake levels, and everything just blends together just into a seamless movie. That's when it's at amazing levels. So again, we're not trying to say copy and do what Marvel's doing or anything like that. Just
do the right things, which Marvel usually does the right things for the most part. So just do that. I was kind of surprised we didn't get more of Commissioner Gordon in this movie.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. My bad.
Wrong character.
My bad. But he better be back as J. Jonah.
I liked him as Commissioner Gordon.
I did too.
We only got one really short scene and then another pretty short scene. We didn't get a whole lot of him. I would like to see a little bit more. Not that it needed it, but I don't know. You got this guy for the role. I would have liked to see him in it a little more. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. Again, like I said with Alfred and Bruce Wayne or Batman. He's been the Batman for many years, and I thought even in the very limited screen time that they gave J.K. Simmons, I thought he did a good job just preserving kind of that history we get with him and Bruce Wayne, or Batman rather, and we of course hear him say, "It's good to see you working well with others." Obviously, this is a reference to not only Dick Grayson's Nightwing, who was Robin, of course, first, but also to Jason Todd's Robin, who was, of course, killed by the Joker in Suicide Squad, as referenced back in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice on the Robin suit, and also at the beginning of Suicide Squad, you see on the exposition dialogue for all the characters and the intro in that whole video.
The baseball cards.
Yeah, basically, when you see all their baseball stats on there. You see it says that she was an accomplice to the murder of Robin, which is, of course, Jason Todd. It's not Dick Grayson, because we are going to be getting a Nightwing movie directed by the Lego Batman movie. Can't wait for that, by the way.
The Lego Batman movie's directing a movie?
The Lego Batman movie director.
Whoa, that's a talented movie.
That would be a talented movie to direct it. But no, the Lego Batman movie director will be directing Nightwing. But yeah, anyways, like I said, J.K. Simmons did a really good job as Commissioner Gordon in the limited screen time we got. I loved him, how he made you feel that history that he had with Batman.
One major gripe I had with this movie, no, not really, but like when he's talking with Gordon, they're all talking with Gordon and they all disappear except for the Flash. It's like, I thought he would be the one, if anything, to catch everyone leaving.
I agree with you, but I think my defense would be he's so inexperienced and new at this that he's not I'm just saying he's definitely pushed a few people. He's never really done battle. He doesn't really interact with
I was kidding about the major gripe. I was just trying to...
He doesn't... I'm just... My whole defense is he's not used to doing this where he's used to just disappearing on people. He usually works solo by himself and never interacts. It's not like the TV show, which you need to watch, where he's got a group of people that he works with and then he can do the disappearing act like Batman, and he's learning from them. I wish they would have paid that off, though, like to your gripe. I wish they would have paid that off where we have another scene of him talking to Commissioner Gordon. He's the first one out of there when they
but then they don't leave.
And they don't leave.
And he comes back, he's like, I thought we were going to leave.
That would have been a great payoff. Like, they should have done that, because that would have said, Jay, there's to your point. But yeah, no, I agree with you. And getting into Superman now, of course, who's the man of the hour, because obviously he wasn't in too much for the promotional stuff. But this is probably my favorite interpretation of Superman, not Clark Kent, because we only get Clark Kent for literally 45 seconds to a minute, but that iconic shot was incredible where he goes in the alleyway.
Well, no, when he's talking with Lois and stuff, that's all Clark.
Yeah, no, very true, very true. But still, we get a pretty, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the bumbling Clark Kent. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But no,
Glasses Clark.
Yeah, exactly. But no, those moments with Lois, there were a few good moments, and I like how they were, bringing back his memory.
The big guns.
I don't know, dude. Like, I really, again, this is not so much a gripe. I just really feel like it would have been, again, just adding the stakes. It would have been interesting if maybe Steppenwolf was the one who resurrected Superman with the mother box.
But why would he do that?
Well, to have
to
have him be on his side because you're in control of that because he wasn't thinking clearly at first.
Maybe.
And you write it's in the plot, dude, or in the script. You just write that. I'm saying like I liked what we got. I'm saying an interesting way they could have went with it. I'm not saying this fixes anything.
Right,
I'm just saying another interesting way is they could have maybe had Steppenwolf. This is because what I thought in my head was going to happen originally. Like Steppenwolf is the one who resurrects him. And, like, he's doing evil things, and then, like Bruce says, he brings out the big guns, and Lois is the only one to stop him from the destruction and the threat of stopping all these Justice League heroes. Because I wanted to see him fighting all the Justice League, which we got. That was awesome. But to see him on Steppenwolf's side, and then Lois comes in, and then he comes back, and maybe he's wearing the black, Superman suit from the comics when he comes back from his death. That would have been amazing. But what we got was still incredible. I just think plot-wise, I would have added, like, just adds more to the dimensions of more stakes, more threat level. Like, holy crap, the Justice League, we know he's going to come back good, but it really adds more of a threat level. We had that cool moment.
I kind of like the dynamic where Bruce was the one who really wants to bring him back because he felt responsible, and the whole kind of paying back to Batman v Superman about what their whole feud or whatever. And I like the fact where how he's like, when they're having that conversation, he's like, I don't not like you. Like, it's kind of awkward, but Bruce wants to make up for things that may have happened in that movie.
I agree with you, which he started, of course, by saving Martha.
How'd you... Oh, and I'm really glad they did not mention that, because that would have been really annoying. But I was going to say, I liked how, how'd you get the house back? Oh, I bought the bank.
Yeah, that was good. And again, seeing that relationship blossom and seeing their chemistry and their dynamic just more progress more and more, like it's finally getting to the relationship. It's my all-time personal favorite relationship, and I'd say actually Batman and the Joker is, but Batman and Superman, like their friendship, their relationship is one of my favorite. Back to your point though on, I kind of like Bruce Wayne, being you could have still, even if Steppenwolf takes Clark Kent's body, you could have still had Bruce wanting to resurrect him, have that in there. Maybe Steppenwolf takes the body, resurrects him. It was Bruce's idea, but Bruce still has the plan of bringing the big guns of Lois Lane, so he still wanted him back, got him back, and got Lois Lane in there to save him in case they couldn't jog his memories as the friend. So. But again, it still worked. I just think, like I said, it just adds a different level of threat level and sast. That's all I'm saying. Well, yeah,
Superman is really against the team for
more than 5 to 10 minutes. For more than 5 to 10 minutes, it was about 5 to 6 minutes, which was cool. It was great.
That fight was cool, though.
It was great. I'm just saying, if you have him on Steppenwolf's side for 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just then
you're shitting your pants. Then you're shitting your pants.
That's how I wanted to feel in this movie. Like the Justice League had no chance, and for a couple minutes here and there, I felt like
speaking of no chance, I just felt as soon as Superman shows up to that end fight, it's just over. Like
Yeah.
there was no competition for him. Like he just kind of came in and he went and saved all the people first and then came back and
That
there was
was
still
cool
no chance.
though. I love that. But
No, I like that. I'm just saying, like, when Superman's fighting Steppenwolf, like, Steppenwolf didn't even, like, scratch him. Like, I don't know.
I agree. He should have had a few blows to him, but
Yeah.
no, I agree with you. No, absolutely. It just again adds more of adds more stakes, adds more of a threat level, and gets you more on your seat. Like I know they're gonna win, but in the moment, like holy crap, they might not have a shot. You know, so that. No, I agree with you, and but no, that final battle sequence was cool. I just again adding more stakes and more threat level. When you just focus on that one family only, like that we've cut to for like 2 minutes earlier or at the beginning of the film a few times. It just feels like, oh, it's just this family I know. Superman had a building full of people. I'm like, I wanted to feel more of like the military trying to intervene or something like
just more civilians.
Just more civilians, just something like that. It's like it felt like it was, even though it was destruction of the world, of course, it was just felt like such on a small scale. But the visuals, some of the visuals in that with the red sky were really cool. It reminded me a lot of Justice League Unlimited, where you got the red sky and have the the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman with that red background. Kind of reminded me a lot of that, which I appreciated. And Jack Kirby, Fourth World, New Gods, it felt like all that, and I appreciated that. I just, like you said, more civilians. It just adds more stakes, adds more of a threat level, and
I thought
it was more real.
At the end scene, the only real drama we got was like when they're actually trying to separate the mother boxes, and Superman's like, "Are we going to be able to handle this or whatever?" He's like, "I really like living or whatever," but.
And also
you knew they were going to die.
Yeah, and also, too, I know people are going to say, well, Cyborg got ripped apart. Well, yeah, you got put back together 30 seconds later. Like, and I know you other people...
a machine.
Yeah. No, that's fine, again, but when you fix the character 30 seconds... I would have rather, like, after the final battle, he got put together.
I've seen him be, all messed up, and then
it was 30-second. Batman just shoved the thing... Yeah. That didn't sound right. Batman just put the leg back into the Cyborg, and it was fixed. Like... Cool, I'm glad he can fix himself, but does that mean now whenever he gets ripped in half, like they just put him back together, he's fine? I don't know. Anyways, look, I know it seems like, that I've been griping on this film a lot. It's more constructive. I really, like I said, would I have taken this film over a crappy piece of junk, fan shit stick 4, like that type of... I'll take this over Fan Shit Stick 4 and even a good amount of comic book movies. I'll still take this over. But... it's the Justice League. I'm sorry that I'm greedy and I wanted epic proportions, and maybe that's my fault because and I'm not saying I had too many expectations. I didn't. I really didn't, actually, which is probably why I enjoyed the movie more. But I just think some of these gripes that I did have would have made it into an overall epic masterpiece, in my opinion. Not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I think would have happened. That being said, I still thought it was fun. It was entertaining. The group interactions and finally seeing these guys together just really worked. They're dynamic. The dramatic tension we feel from the group with Bruce pushing Diana into being a leader. For the most part, it all works as the humor, especially with Aquaman and the Lasso, the Flash. There's a lot of good organic humor that comes out of this for sure. Even Batman had some quips in this movie too.
They're all good.
Something's definitely bleeding. That kind of reminded me a little too of Iron Man 3 Captain America Civil War, where Friday's like, multiple contusions detected. Yeah, I detected that too. But again, just getting back, this film is also beautifully shot. There's pretty good direction, and just, again, some certain things, I could have had a way better villain, in my opinion, and some of the CGI in Atlantis, when they're talking, Aquaman and Mera, and the Ivan Ooze face, I was not into that with Steppenwolf, and again, he was very underdeveloped, more like into Malekith territories of underdeveloped. Again, I had a very good, very fun, entertaining time. I had it at a 7.8 out of 10 the first time I saw this. After seeing it the second time, I think I'm going to move more into the 8.2 out of 10 range. I'm going to keep it right around there.
I'm sticking with my 7.5. I still think this is my favorite DC movie. I don't want to say by far, but...
Wonder Woman.
Definitely no. This was way better. For me, I liked it better than Wonder Woman was good. Maybe a better movie, but I'd rather watch this any day. Wonder Woman was good, but I think it was very overrated.
Visual appeal, I'll take this movie any day over Wonder Woman in terms of seeing all these characters, all their interactions. Held to the movie, story, plot line, everything developing. I'll go with Wonder Woman.
This is a Justice League review, not Wonder Woman. So, for this movie, I liked all the characters. I liked all their interactions. That was probably my favorite part of the movie, especially the Flash. Flash was hilarious. The villain was weak, but I did really, really love that fight with the Amazonians. I thought that was one of the sickest scenes in the whole movie. That was awesome.
That was cool.
So he did have his one moment. I just wish it had been at the end, not his first scene. But, or was it a second? Anyway, I definitely liked it. It's a lot of fun. I would recommend anyone who likes comic movies to watch the movie. So, I enjoyed it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments section, and if you guys like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.